We turn to one of the most closely watched contests from this week's general election, the race for Amherst Supervisor. Current board member, Democrat Shawn Lavin, with a 6-point win over his Republican challenger, businessman Dan Gagliardo. So what does this mean for the largest town in Western New York? Supervisor-elect Shawn Lavin joins us here tonight. Congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So you are currently the deputy supervisor in Amherst. You're going to be taking over the top job. I think the natural question is, as you're now getting ready for that transition in January, what will change? What do you anticipate being different when you take over?
The first thing is we have to get past the election. The reality is some people didn't vote for me, and I have to prove to them that I'm the right choice for the town. I'm going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that I live up to that responsibility, because Amherst is a great community and I need to lead from the front.
And so as you're preparing now, we reported earlier today the incoming mayor of Buffalo is out there with his transition team. He's going to be making a lot of changes in Buffalo City Hall. Do you anticipate having to make a lot of changes?
I have a transition team working right now as we speak. They're getting together with department heads to find out where we are with projects. Now, being on the board, I've been fortunate enough to know where we are with a lot of these. But at the same time, I think we should go in there as a brand new executive and really have a feel for different departments and which direction they want to go.
Over the next 4 years, one of the big challenges you're going to face as the supervisor will be figuring out what to do with the Boulevard Mall site, right? There have been some big changes. The Buffalo News actually had some new reporting on this today, saying that the town board is expected to vote this coming Monday to formally partner with Benderson as the developer, then move forward with the eminent domain process. And here's the quote that the Buffalo News got from the current supervisor, Brian Culpa. He said, "This will pave the way for Benderson to tear down much of the mall structure, making way for new access roads, retail, housing, a park, a town-oriented community center, and other uses." What should folks who live in Amherst or who maybe go up and shop in Amherst know about how this is going to work moving forward?
So a lot of moving parts there. So the Boulevard Mall now has a singular owner, which is great. Boulevard Mall, in that process of being torn down, the town of Amherst is going to use its eminent domain proceedings to remove a lot of the leasings, that agreements that we have on the Boulevard Mall. So some of those agreements went all the way until 2070, and residents aren't going to be wanting to wait until 2070 to get that redeveloped. So we have to fight tooth and nail to use this eminent domain proceeding that Benderson's asked us to use, and once we get to that process, we can really move forward with redevelopment.
Finally, we talked when you and your opponent were here in studio with us leading up to the election. Taxes was one of the big issues during this campaign. This year, you do not anticipate having a tax increase, right?
That's right.
For the town board.
It's a decrease.
A decrease, actually. Moving forward down the road, what would you say? Obviously, a lot of folks are still reeling from the 11% tax increase. Yeah. Can you promise folks that they're not going to face that again over the next few years?
What I am going to say is that Amherst, in an apples-to-apples comparison, pays one of the lowest tax rates in Erie County. With that being said, though, we have to continue to invest in our economic infrastructure. Doing so raises the tax levy, and when you do that, you can provide great services and keep taxes flat, and that's my goal.
The goal is to bring in more tax revenue, but do it because you're seeing growth in the town.
That's absolutely right.
All right. Democrat Shawn Lavin, the winner in Tuesday's election for Amherst Town Supervisor. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks.
Thank you for having me.